What's good, everybody? Welcome to the Talking Sports with Manny channel. Wanted to drop a quick video on you guys with the number 11. I made a mistake. It's number 16 because the Washington Commanders traded back from 11 to 16 and selected wide receiver Jahan Dotson, Penn State. I'm going to get into what he does well, what the grades were. So pretty much Washington had to play their cards right. They had several wide receivers that they wanted to select, and Jahan Dotson was on their list. What this tells me is trading back from 11 to 16. We all know that the team loved Chris Olave. They loved Garrett Wilson, who's gone at 10 to the Jets. So the best next thing was to go through their list, and they traded back, knowing that they had at least 5 players that they would love at that spot at 16. So they drafted who they felt was the best candidate. So trading back from 11 to 16, Washington was able to acquire pick 98, which is a third rounder, and pick 120, which is an extra fourth rounder. So trading back 5 spots, gaining an extra third that you didn't have because of the Carson Wentz trade, and then also gaining a extra fourth, the 120 could be very valuable in this draft. Martin Mayhew has talked about this draft being very rich when it comes to picking up these middle round guys, anywhere from rounds 3 to rounds 5. They want to have as many picks as possible. And I can also see the team trading back also in the 4th to acquire maybe 2 extra 5th-round picks. So let's break this thing down. We get Jahan Dotson, and people are like, who is this guy? You know, you have the fans that are upset because they don't watch college football or they don't know anything about this guy. Some people rate this guy as the number 7th best wide receiver in the draft. Some people have him as a top 5 wide receiver in this draft. There were 6 wide receivers selected in this draft, and when we traded from 11 to 16, Kyle Hamilton was there. That's the guy that I wanted, but I'm not upset with the pick because I have Jahan Dotson graded high on my list of wide receivers that I wanted. So trading back and acquiring that 3rd and that 4th, let's see what we actually do with that 3rd and that 4th. That's what's going to be key. If we hit on those picks, then nobody will ever remember about trading back and losing Olave. The gap between Olave and Dotson is not far at all. So let's look at some of the grades that people were given this acquisition. So Bleacher Report, Brent says Jahan Dotson's size shouldn't fool anyone because he plays much bigger than 5'11", 178 pounds. His frame looks small, but I'm telling you, this guy does not play small at all. This guy is fast. He has possibly the best hands in this draft. He high points the ball. He goes and gets it. He's explosive. Like I said, he ran a 4.43 in the 40 at the combine. So this guy here does everything exceptionally well, and he gives you some special teams upside as well. Now, the Athletic gives this draft a B. This draft selection a B. Analysis: Dotson, once again, his frame. He started 38 games for the Nittany Lions. He's prolific. Last year, in his senior year, had 91 catches, 1,100 plus yards, 12 touchdowns, and he also ran a 4.43. So the Athletic is giving this thing a B, right? And everybody is applauding them by doing a nice job. Now, maybe had Olave fell, maybe they get a A. But, I mean, you can't fault this. You get an extra 3rd and 4th for just sliding back 5 spots, and you still add an offensive weapon. Everybody says, Washington, get a big receiver. Well, you have a big receiver in Cam Sims. Just don't draft for a guy that's just a big receiver. Draft for a guy that does multiple things. And Jahan Dotson can play all 3 wide receiver spots. So he's going to be a guy that you can move from slot to outside. He's really an outside wide receiver. Like I said, he can jump out the gym. He's a multi-athlete. He plays multiple sports. Very athletic. Pete Presco from CBS Sports gives this a B. He says, they trade back and land a receiver who will give them more juice in the passing game. They needed to help Carson Wentz, and Dotson will give them another speed player, landing extra picks, and getting a good wide receiver. This is a good move. Rob Rang from Fox Sports give this draft selection a B. He says, hey, his savviness as a route runner, along with a terrific straight line speed, sticky hands, makes him a Tyler Lockett. That's a great comparison, actually. If you like Tyler Lockett, you're definitely going to like Jahan Dotson. Tyler Lockett plays a lot bigger than 5'10". Okay, I believe Tyler Lockett is 5'10". He plays a lot bigger than 5'10". Also, it also says teams won't be able to double Terry McLaurin any longer. With Logan Thomas, once he gets back healthy, you have Antonio Gibson, also another talented pass catcher, to give Carson Wentz the weapons that he needs to succeed. If Carson Wentz does not work, the team can still go after a quarterback in day 2, which is today, or they can elect to go for a quarterback next year in the first round. NFL.com gives this grade a B. It says Washington smartly grabbed a late third round and an early fourth round pick. So it's great just to move back 5 spots. Like I said, Sporting News gives this a B. It says the Commanders took, they said that the Commanders pretty much got a deep threat to complement Terry McLaurin, knowing that Carson Wentz operates best when he has those types of guys on the outside. So I see him, like I said, moving inside outside. Also, he mentions that it might seem a little forced after choosing to stay put rather than taking a guy like Olave and Williams. Now, it's debatable. We have to now monitor the career of Olave compared to Jameson Williams, compared to Jahan Dotson. Let's see what happens between these three. These three are always going to be compared for the rest of their careers. Who had the better career? Did Washington make the right move selecting Jahan Dotson over a guy like Olave or Jameson Williams? Which Jameson Williams is possibly the best wide receiver in this draft when he's healthy, but with the health issues and Carson Wentz gamble, I think they elected to go for a guy that's healthy and is able to play right away. So USA Today gives this grade a B. It says this isn't the flashiest pick. Let's say, you're going to have guys who criticize, like I said earlier, Jameson Williams over trading down. But it says Dotson is an underrated professional wide receiver from day one. When Carson Wentz is your quarterback, the more professionalism, the better. So this seems like a guy that it's a Ron Rivera type guy, a guy that's serious. I've heard all kinds of stories about Jahan Dotson. I heard a rumor that they put $100 into the playbook of a lot of different guys that they wanted to draft as wide receivers. He went through the entire playbook, and when he finished, he mailed that $100 back, saying that he's gonna pay me back this $100 when I win you a Super Bowl, something like that. But what this tells me is that he's a hard worker. He arrived in DC and had a football in his hand. So this is somebody who's always working on his craft. He has great hands. He's long, and he had the lowest drop rate out of all the wide receivers in college football this past season. So Jahan Dotson, great pick. I love the pick personally. Let's see what happens. Please subscribe. Please share. I will be dropping another video of the second round pick and the third round pick, if not tonight, tomorrow morning. So you guys keep an eye out for that. I will catch you guys on the next video. I'm out. Peace.